All right, it's Tuesday. It's Monday's hangover, which actually is just a continuation of yesterday's show. Hanging out here with Anthony Russo, who is the host of Blunt Force Discussion and all the kind of good stuff that we'll talk about that he does. Be the Change, all this kind of good stuff. Just kind of screw all that Be the Change stuff. That's very altruistic.
Such ultra liberal crap.
The Puppet Master Mark and of course Let's Love Brandon are at the helm, driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity. They have compiled the insanity right here on these pages, and we'll get into some of it. I went to a spin class the other day. When your girlfriend says to you, "Let's go spinning," it ain't what you think.
No, she's not a spinner, not one of those kind of things.
It ain't what you think, dude.
No, it's a sweat
an hour
box.
later, you're very sweaty, and your legs hurt really, really bad.
How'd that work out for you?
It wasn't bad. I used to do. I wish they named it something different. It didn't sound quite so gay.
Yeah.
But I want to go to spin class. I used to do those classes all the time. Like I used to do it 3 times a week, and I don't. But like that for me cycling is a very natural exercise thing to do. Like there's some things that ain't, like pull-ups and stuff like that.
Thing.
Not my thing.
Long arms.
Yeah, can't do them. Can't do them. I might be good for one, but now with arthritis on my elbows. But I've always had very strong legs, powerful legs, ladies, because I was a catcher. I played baseball my entire life, played through college and pro ranks and the whole thing, and did the whole deal. Yeah. So I spent a lot of time squatting. Yeah. I have strong legs, skinny legs, but they're strong. Yeah. They're strong. Yeah. So anyway, we went to spin class. It was okay. I'm kind of getting back into that. I enjoy it. I need to do something because God knows, as soon as I stop moving, the estrogen pops right back out on me.
The only reason to go to spin class is when you're single, though, to be totally honest.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about strip clubs. Like if you're gonna do something, there's a visceral response being around a bunch of women in spandex, and then
it's something you got to show off.
Right.
For, right?
And then if you look the wrong direction and CJ sees you do it, you gotta back.
Well, the thing about CJ is she doesn't really pay a lot of attention to the world around her. She's just kind of in it. And here, give me your cup. But God bless her. I mean, she makes coffee nervous. And she's just full-blown energy. I mean, she's something created in Nikola Tesla's lab. She's just pure energy. But anyway, she's always like, let's go on a walk. Let's go on a walk. I'm like, can you sit still? Can we watch football? Just be in the moment. She goes, well, can we do that on the bike path? That kind of thing.
You know how to fix that. Move to Chicago. Then you can nope, not going outside.
Not going outside.
Not going outside, sorry.
I look forward to winter. Yeah. Right? So I'll at least have 3 weeks that I don't have to go walk. But she's keeping me young. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I moved, right, a couple of weeks ago. I moved, and I'm still up here in Dallas for the show, and then I'll go back down when I'm not on the road doing shows somewhere across the country. But I'm in the Woodlands, which sounds very... It sounds exactly like what it is. Yeah, it is a township. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not a city. It's a township.
Which is actually, it's big enough to be a city. I think they're just playing up the township.
They are. Yeah. It's a very elite bubble.
They identify as a township.
It's weird because I left Augusta, Georgia. Or I left Georgia, I should say, years ago to get away from all the trees because I like big sky. Yeah. I love Texas because of big sky. Now I'm living in a place that is a replica of Georgia with all the pine trees and the whole thing. I think they schedule 30 minutes of rain in the morning, just misting for the ferns. And so I have located the house that I want to take the illegals to. All right? It's in my neighborhood. And they literally, I walked past it. I was walking the dog the other day, and I walked past it, Anthony, and they've got their Beto thing out there. They got the Democrat that's running for lieutenant governor. They got his sign out there. In their window, for the world to see, says, "This home welcomes all people, including," and it lists all the deal. Regardless of your sexual persuasions, your nationality, your point of origin. It lists it. You've seen these things. It was the same thing they had out at Martha's Vineyard until the brown people showed up.
Keyword is had.
Had. Yeah. Now there's some disclaimers. Yeah. There's asterisks on that sign. So that's where we're going. I'm going to pick them up this weekend. I'm going to the Home Depot. I'm going to pick up some day laborers. I'm going to pay them. I'm going to pay them better than anybody else, I guarantee you.
Promise some things like DeSantis.
I will. You know what? And then we're going to have barbacoa at my house. Okay, I'm going to show them what the upper crust of the Woodlands lives like. We're getting my pool.
What do they look? Have you seen the people that live there?
I haven't. I want to see them.
I'm so curious.
I'm scouting this home. I want to see them. And
binoculars.
Hey, guess, and I know you're going to think an electric car. It's not, but guess what's in their driveway?
Truck.
It's a Subaru. It's the ultra libo car.
Oh, it's a lesbian couple.
They could be lesbians. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know these people. But when I see those signs out, I'm just like, can we just see if you really believe that?
Yeah.
Can we just see? And by the way, if you come to my house, my friend is running for position 1 school board.
Yeah.
They're in the Woodlands, and he's running for school board. He's a great guy, and he's gay, right? He's gay, which does not matter to me whatsoever because I know him. I know his values. I know him, and I think as a candidate, I think he'd be. But it's like I can't wait for them to come after me and be like, I'll say, look, I got street cred. I got a gay dude in my front yard right here. I got a gay dude sign.
Yeah,
right here,
welcoming all comers.
Because again, I'm just using their standards.
Hey,
right. So anyway, I'm having fun with this whole thing. I have lived there 5 weeks. I've met none of the neighbors.
Really?
Oh, they don't want you. They don't want me there.
Oh.
I will say this. A friend of mine came over and was outside, doing something with the kids, or her kids. And she came back in and she goes, do you know what your across the street neighbor just said to me? He said he's never met a Republican that was polite.
That he's never met a Republican?
He's never met a Republican.
No.
And I was like, well, he probably won't meet one with me either then. I don't know. We'll see.
You're pretty polite on the surface. So that's an insane comment because every time you meet people that are like, the left that's willing to accidentally still hang out with the right, they'll go, man, y'all are pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty nice. Jamie Kilstein, you alluded to him yesterday. Yeah. Jamie Kilstein, he understands now. There's tons of people across the board. Ariel Scarcella, who out of New York. She's again a lesbian who has a podcast about sex.
Right.
And she's like, God, I got around you guys, and I was like, y'all are all nice. It's ridiculous. But I'm gonna wait till he's out there in his front yard.
Yeah.
And it's Friday and it's trash day, and I'm just gonna throw the truck in reverse and I'm gonna hit his trash can and just blow trash all over his front yard and stuff like that.
You know what's funny about people like that though is they're literally gonna look at, so they'll think this way, but I guarantee you they probably have a Mexican that does their lawn or something along those lines.
No, they're not probably. They do. I see them.
And I guarantee you they do not interact with those people.
They don't.
Whereas Republicans who are supposedly hateful, they'll literally get to know them, get to know their family. That's just the way that we are.
Now, inevitably, this whole conversation is going to bite me in the ass because there's someone in the Woodlands who's watching this show.
Yeah.
And they're going, I know where he lives. Because inevitably, you're probably going, I know where he lives.
Yeah.
I know these people, right? And it's okay, folks. It's all in good fun. It's tongue-in-cheek. We're having fun with everybody. Everybody gets along.
He doesn't like you.
It's going to be fun. But anyway, I'm having a blast. It's... I love everybody everywhere I go, but I sometimes, as I'm pulling my trash can up the driveway back to the house, I'm like, can't believe I live here.
Yeah,
I really can't. But it's cool. Like, it's a nice little enclave. It's there's a lot of privacy, and I love to be able to people to think, oh my God, oh, you're just showing you got money, and I was like, no, I don't really, I don't. But this is I got a good deal. It's a great place to live, and I'm enjoying it.
They're not going to bug you. That's the great part. I mean,
they don't bug you.
They'll find a way to go online and send you messages. Yeah. So, like, if you want to be alone, enjoy your pool, enjoy your house, you're in the perfect spot.
100%.
It's going to be quiet.
You want to be left alone. And you can smell the snootiness on people as they walk down the street with their labradoodles.
Yeah.
And the joggers and the bikers. And it's an interesting community. Anyway, I love it. So I'm giving a big shout out to those folks over there. But we were in Fredericksburg, Texas on this past Friday night, did a show at the Rock Box Theater. You could not put another human being in that building. It was packed. And so it was me and the Ragamuffins. We went in the studio last week and we recorded our new song, I Got Over You When You Got Under Him. It is a banger of a song. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. I got to head back to the recording studio today. We've got a opening first line of the thing. It's a harmony piece that's just going to blow your ears off. And it says, now penicillin is killing what's left of our love. And it just starts off from there. And it's just every bit of all that you can believe about that. But it's a fun song.
What's
I got
the name
over
of it
you.
again?
I got over you when you got under him. Yeah.
Got it. I had to think
and it's a fun song, great harmony song, and the musicality of it. We've added a bass player and a drummer now to the Ragamuffins, and I got the best musicians in Texas. I'm just telling you. And then there's me, mediocre me. But we have fun. And we're going to be three of us at least, the founding three of the Ragamuffins, me, Steve, and Ben, are going to be at Del Norte Tacos in Godley on Saturday night, October 1st. So come kick off October with us there in Godley, Texas. People always say, oh, you're really big time in it. You're at a taco place. Y'all don't understand Texas.
No.
They don't understand Texas music venues. Right? You can go to Shep's Barbecue down in Belton, Texas. They can put 2,000 people out there on their outdoor stage. Yeah. They're built for that. And then they'll sell you barbecue, too. Same with Del Norte Tacos. You go in there and get the brisket tacos, and you go out there and hear Ray Wiley Hubbard on stage with 1,200 people. So
it's like gas stations.
Yeah.
But nobody knows that we have gas stations that are cities.
They're cities.
Buc-ee's.
You're proud of your little Walmart?
Yeah.
We got a gas station that rivals your Walmart.
Like we talked about Wawa. Well, Wawa is the East Coast Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
That does not look like a Buc-ee's.
No, not at all. I like going to Oklahoma where they have the come and go, KUM,
Nebraska
come
too.
and go.
Yeah,
Nebraska too. Right?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Anyway, it is awkward. It gets awkward. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on. I want you guys. We've got a music video we're gonna do for the "I Got Over You and You Got Under Him." I told my mother I was recording that song. She's like, "Don't do it. Don't do it." And I was like, "Oh, Mom, but it's a banger." My buddy Chuck Allen Floyd, he wrote a song. We're gonna do this song. It takes 2/5 to make that girl a 10. Another incredible chart topper that no one will play on the radio. But incredibly genius, right? Incredibly genius.
100%.
Yeah. It takes 2/5 to make that girl a 10. If I'm going to lick her later, well, I better lick her now.
That's clever.
There it is. Speaking of liquor, here's
some.
Yeah,
I felt like I need to drink.
Mm-hmm. We have fun. We have a lot of fun. But
yeah, I'm feeling a little. It's got a little heat to it when it goes down.
That one's got a little burn to it.
It started out good.
I think that is agave mixed with a paint thinner.
Yeah,
actually.
Gasoline. Yeah, it's expensive. It's diesel.
Yeah, in a Biden economy. Let me tell you something. The cheapest thing was the illegal labor that got it made, right there. The 2 million have crossed. 2 million have been apprehended.
Yep.
This year. At the southern border. No telling how many have gotten across.
Yeah, we got to be careful with that word apprehended. It's apprehended and then let go.
And let go. Yeah, it's catch and release. It's like bass fishing in the Rio Grande. Except the bass are wearing a T-shirt and blue jeans.
Yeah.
And have a change of clothes on their back.
Yeah, the Columbia shirts.
Yeah. So we're living in some crazy, crazy times in regards to that. I still say, somebody on Twitter the other day came out with a 10-point proposal for how to deal with the fentanyl crisis. Mm-hmm. And they said, no one is saying this. And I was like, I literally campaigned on this for over a year. Yeah. The exact same thing. About naming the cartels terrorists, about having a military division that goes specifically after cartels, having an exit program for cartel leaders that gets them out of that. Yeah. There's tons of stuff that's got to be done.
Somebody just proposed a not death penalty, but life in prison for anybody caught dealing fentanyl. I can't remember whose page I saw it on, but they're saying
I saw that too, and I think that's a good idea because again, let's say it puts the fear of God in people who are out there giving away the street level Xanax and
cocaine
and phentermine or cocaine. Yeah. So now you're not just giving your buddy a Adderall at the party. You just dealt a weapon of mass destruction.
Absolutely.
Basically.
And the deaths of, 2001, they skyrocketed and we're even way higher now and we're in September. I think it was like 58,000 and then now we're at 70-something thousand. Since it's a serious problem.
Which goes back to what we said yesterday. Well, there was enough that was brought across in the last year, enough fentanyl to kill 2.8 billion people. So again, and there's thousands of pounds of it coming across. They just had a historic bust last week in terms of the amount of it. But
it's like kids' candy too. It's creepy.
Yeah, they make it look like that. I tell you what, let's go to a break. Bespoke Post, I love them. Every time, like Bespoke is a good company because every now and then I'll go to my deal and like there'll be a new box of awesome, and I'm like, this is outside of what I normally receive from them because I actually pay for a subscription with Bespoke Post, and if you're wondering what that is. They've got Box of Awesome collections, and they partner with small businesses and emerging brands to bring you the most unique goods every single month. Now, my favorite box, the Carnivores, the American barbecue rub in the Carnivore box made by the Great American Spice Company in Rockford, Michigan. No matter what you got going on this season, Box of Awesome has you covered, from camping gear essentials to travel must-haves. The cocktail kits, it's got everything you need, especially for the fall. You got the Cask box, which is handcrafted barrel from the American white oak, which has been charred to create a smokier cocktail. If you haven't ever used one of those, you need that for your old-fashioned. To get started, I want you to take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers are going to help you pick the right Box of Awesome for you. They're going to release a new box every month across a ton of different categories. Each box valued at around $70, but you're only going to pay a fraction of that price. Plus, with each Box of Awesome, you're supporting small businesses. 90% of everything that comes in your Box of Awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand. Free to sign up, skip a month, cancel anytime, easy to use on the website. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Use code WATCHCHAD at checkout. Boxofawesome.com. Use code WATCHCHAD to get 20% off your first Box of Awesome. We'll be right back. Yeah. Anthony, how's the show going?
I mean, from my seat, pretty good.
This one yours.
Oh, gosh, man. I
how's your show doing?
Not too bad. I mean,
I know this one's amazing.
We've been blessed with some really good guests. I mean, when you popped in, it's great. Having like anything from motivational people to like Chato Jack, like the guy, for somebody that really doesn't have a huge following, to actually be able to get the level of guests that I've had has been amazing.
Yeah. Well, again, I say it over and over again. You do it well and you do it right.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do it right.
Yeah. And that's the cool part. Like, you see somebody like, I've had Yaku. Yaku does a lot of stuff with the Blaze.
Yeah.
So you've got Yaku on. You have these people that, as long as they watch 5 minutes of one of the episodes, despite, we're not getting 1 million views or whatever it is, they are confident that they're going to come on a show that's actually going to benefit them. Lauren Davis, running for county judge. She was on.
You just had her on last week.
Yeah, just had her on last week. It's been fun because I get to learn a little bit from each person, whether it's motivational, stock market stuff. Tony Watley's great with like Side Hustle Millionaire, and then Chato Jackson, brilliant dude. So yeah. It's been going good.
That's awesome. It's good stuff. I think you're doing it well. And I like, a good little simple setup. I mean, it's cool the way you do it, but it's done with excellence. So Blunt Force Discussion, make sure that you're subscribed to them. Here's what I want to do, Mark and Brandon. Here's what I'm pushing for. I want the Blaze to do this.
Okay.
And I want to be a part of it. This is my brainchild. So if the executives are watching at least this far into this episode.
Probably not.
Here's what I want to get it out, because they don't watch to the D block, but we're going to say it right here. I love dramatic podcasts.
Yeah.
So like the old radio shows, right? Where you got characters.
Right.
The whole thing. Like Marvel's doing the whole thing. Like Marvel, their Wastelander series, if you listen to that, it sucks. The audio is uneven. Like, can y'all not, it's Marvel, can you not get everybody to stand the same distance to the microphone? So you find yourself turning it up, turning it down, then you're like, I can't listen to this crap, right?
Yeah.
But I like that kind of action drama or whatever it is. There's a new one out called The Ballad of Uncle Drink.
Okay.
And it is a spoof of, anybody in the room heard of this? Anybody? A Ballad of Uncle Drink? So it's got Billy Zane, it's got Scott Sasso, I think is his first name, Scott, comedian out of Canada. It's got Luke Wilson, Chelsea Lynn, Kinky Friedman, and it was going to have Nick Nolte as the title character, but then he got in trouble for the sexual harassment thing.
Whoops.
And so they booted him off and got Sasso. But it's the story. It's a spoof parody of satire, if you will, of a country music, like Jimmy Buffett beach country music guy who's just an idiot, but they play all the characters and stuff like that. The Blaze needs to have this type of show. Because Jennings has asked me before about, we should do animation. I said, animation's too expensive.
Yeah, big time.
It's way too expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, a minute of animation is like $3,000.
Yeah.
It's insane. But we need to do this thing, have the characters. But imagine, like, from the perspective of aides and assistants and staff, what goes into, we could do a 3-episode series, a 3-episode show on Joe Biden preparing to take an international trip. What would go into the preparation of that, right? Or Memoirs of a Maid, My Life in the Clinton White House. This is gold. This is gold. I'm telling you.
You know what you could do? Have a memoirs or diary of a Biden kid. Oh, shit. They already have that. We just don't pay attention to it. My bad.
Nobody opened that laptop.
No.
Yeah, there's a whole diary there. But no, I think we do this. It wouldn't be hard to produce. This is a whole new show. I think this is a banger, man. This is an idea that, I mean, you got the drama music behind it.
Yeah.
But you're playing the deal. It'd take a little bit of editing, Brandon. It'd take a little bit of editing. But if people did it right, and we got enough people around here who could do voice actors, and every now and then we could have Glenn Beck as himself. That, to me, is a fantastic idea. Yeah. So, Blaze, I'm putting it out here because now I'm putting the public pressure on you. I want you guys to go, we'll come up with a name of it, but just, The Blaze Presents, and do a dramatic series of the whole thing. I think it'd be hilarious.
How long, like 30-minute episodes?
Yeah, just 30 minutes.
Like a short...
22 minutes, right? Something like that. And then every story is 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And then I think it'd be huge.
Biden goes to a climate summit and shits himself.
Yeah, we don't have. What was it like whenever you heard the president fart in front of Camilla? What or the Shatakin? When he shit his pants in front of the Pope. The Shatakin diaries, or what? But I think we do that. And so I want everybody, get on where my podcast is, leave a rating and review, 5 stars. But I want you to say, this is my idea for what would make a good show. And we would listen to it.
A day in the life of a crack dealer of Hunter Biden.
I like this. See? It's never ending. So, I mean, they did Little Bush, and they did the Trump cartoon. Again, we don't have to be Daily Wire. We don't have to go make feature-length movies with Gina Carano.
Right.
But I think this deal could be huge.
Pelosi's bartender.
That's a good one right there. That's a good one. Or Pelosi's plastic surgeon. Conversations with Nancy. And, Nancy Pelosi, as told by Sarah Gonzalez. It'd be fantastic.
That'd be good.
I'm telling you.
I like it.
And what we would do is we would get InnovaFeed, the bug protein producer, to be a sponsor of the show. I'm
in.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You could be a part of this thing. It would be.
I'm in.
It would be amazing.
If Blaze doesn't do it with Barb and David, the Great American Syndicate, we'll make it. We have no budget.
It needs to happen.
Just so you know, we have no budget, but we'll make it.
How much does it cost to talk? Right? We do it. We throw a little background music. We basically drum up the drama with the background noise, and it just creates some stuff. There's no reason not to do this.
I'm down.
No reason not to do this. The Postal Service, the post office is spying on us now. I don't know if you've seen this news.
I mean, I'm not shocked.
But Postal Service monitored social media for posts regarding conservative anti-Biden protests. The United States Postal Inspection Service, they're scouring social media to monitor posts regarding these protests held by those allegedly conservative or anti-Biden views. Because that's what we need the post office to do.
So they're looking at our social media. They're not looking at the mail.
I think they're doing both, actually. They have found the Cato Institute has acquired some heavily redacted documents related to the activities of the so-called USPS Internet Covert Operations Program. Did you know there was such a thing? The post office is covert. There's a hair on that microphone. I don't know whose it is.
Awkward. CJ.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's weird to me. This is a thing. It has an acronym. ICOP.
They love acronyms.
ICOP.
I don't get it. What's
lowercase
the purpose?
I COP. Internet Covert Operations Program.
And the Postal Service that can't even deliver mail correctly is the ones doing it. And you said that's Cato Institute, which Cato used to be pretty unbiased. But
they're pretty libertarian. They consider themselves libertarian in that regard. This is very Nazi.
Yeah.
If you want to use a word.
Well, across the board, there's just the way that we're putting random groups in charge of different things, like the ring show. That's another one that's coming out, that the using the rings.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious that they've been utilizing this data to spy on us. We don't know what we're checking on. You've got people that have just been force fed, whether it's the U.S. Postal Service now. Apparently, that's a new one to me. They can't do anything right, which is mind boggling. To now, there's a woman that's called like the Black Nutritionist on Instagram, big following. And there's a whole video, and I don't know, I brought it up without knowing, but we probably don't have the clip, but she literally was she had people talking about how anybody thinking that unhealthy foods are unhealthy is actually being biased. It's not about, unless they have a contaminant or poison in them. Not like saying donuts, this is like fat phobia and all that stuff, and this is a nutritionist. You know, it's funny, you know who she works for? She works for the umbrella company that now bought Kraft Foods.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Is she fat? Is she herself
fat?
No,
she's not, but the people that she had on her videos are. I'll show you on a break.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Is she black?
Who? Yeah,
no, she's black. Nutritionist?
No, she's black. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't want false advertising.
No,
here.
she's black.
If I hear something advertised as black, I want it to be black.
Oh yeah, she's black.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure, why not?
But it's always like it's the same thing. It's like who is infiltrating the minds of people? Now you've got people that are spying on us. They work at the post office. I mean, everything else between DARPA and whatever. It's ridiculous.
I've known some postmen. I have known some people that worked at the post office over the years, and I don't think of them as operatives.
No.
You know?
I think of them as people that defrost their meat with their armpits.
or bitch about third-class mail. Like, these damn coupons. Why is everybody sending out all these damn coupons? Well, because if they didn't send that out, you wouldn't have a job. Yeah. Because nobody ever sends anything through snail mail anymore. I mean, we use the post office to send shirts and hats and stuff like that from our website, it's a constant nightmare.
Yeah. We used to send checks back. We're talking for my company back in 2011, 2012. We had to stop. That's why we did direct deposit, because 8 out of 10 would get there. The cost of because I owned a staffing company.
Yeah.
So we're sending out hundreds of checks a week, small checks.
Yeah.
And it's like if they're making $88 and it's a $35 fee to cancel the check, 8 out of 10 was back in 2012, 2013. Another reason I was like, I think mail-in ballots are probably not a great idea.
No, not a good idea.
No.
I mean, if I said, hey, I got $1 million check for you.
Yeah.
Or $1 million cash, and I'm going to stick it in a big old box, and I'm going to put it in the USPS, and I'm going to send it to you. I think you'd say, I'll come pick it up.
I'd rather you hand me $500,000 to take away the risk.
Exactly. I bet I can drive to you. Oh, my God. What are we talking about? If you don't feel too confident about the future, join the club. Everything that's going on around the world right now. God, it's the perfect time to stock up on emergency food, folks. I mean, we are literally on the clock here. You're going to need it soon. Emergency food isn't for the paranoid, it's for the prudent. You need to be prepared. My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest preparedness company. They're currently offering a generous 25% discount on their popular 3-month emergency food kit. It's going to give you a wide variety of breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, snacks, 2,000 calories a day. It'll feed one person for 3 solid months. You need a kit for everybody in your family, but the sale's going to end soon, so go to preparewithchad.com right now and get that 20% savings off each of the 3-month kits you need. That's an affordable way to build your emergency food stockpile while you still can. If the day ever comes when you need to fall back on this food, it's going to be worth much more than what you paid. I promise you that. Preparewithchad.com. What did I say? Preparewithchad.com. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's take a minute. Let me wax eloquent. Okay, folks. Diversity and inclusion, what it is, why we care, and what we can do. That is a title. And if that title sounds like something you'd hear popping out of the drooling mouth of some Californian dipshit hipster who hasn't quite manifested the upward mobility requisite to move out of his mom's basement, you'd be surprisingly wrong. As a matter of fact, it's the name of a seminar that began a year ago at the Air Force Academy in Colorado. Yes, even the mighty military of the United States of America has entered the hollow and largely mythical realms of person-centered language amid the sweltering and one might say hellish heat of the diversity, equity, and inclusion zeitgeist. Goodbye words like mom, dad, girlfriend, and boyfriend, and hello to the kind of gray, sexless, mirthless environment that a villain from an Orwell novel might feel right at home within. Hello also to diversity goals, because meritocracy is dead, don't you know? We've just thrown out the old idea that you want to be the smartest, best, most physically fit people you can get your hands on, no matter what their race, religion, or possibly even gender, in favor of an institution we can be proud of for its balance. Folks, I cannot stress enough how much of a bad idea things like this are. God, we've talked about it so many times. We created a military in this country for one reason: to defend liberty. And that means removing the feels insofar as it is possible to do that to a human being, just short of creating an emotionless monster. That's right, the balance is delicate, but for decades and decades, we did it basically right in this country. In other words, this injection of wokeism into the American military isn't just a waste of time, and don't get me wrong, it's a huge waste of time. You need to be learning how to kill the bad guys abroad, not learning how to avoid misgendering them before you plug them. But it's something far more sinister in that it continues the operation the left is always seeking, which is chipping away at, what am I going to say? The dominant paradigm wherever they may find it. Now ask yourself this question: what about diversity, equity, and inclusion really needs to be set into policy in the military? Can you think of anything at all? It's not as if they don't already have an extraordinarily complicated and rigid code of conduct. Hell, their code of conduct is far more well-defined than that of the average American citizen. So why take it that one step further? Could it possibly be that there's an undercurrent present which has the goal of washing away all the foundational principles which have guided the military in the first place? Could it be that the wokesters are all too aware of the noble archetype of the military hero and they just can't stand it? Now, I've had quite a few members of the military on this show over the years, and to a person, they all have a small subset of qualities which they not only share, but which are pretty self-evident if you're in their presence for just a few minutes. There's a bearing, there's a well-earned pride, there's a certain solidity of character that shows up time and time again, and I'm telling you in no uncertain terms that the left simply cannot stand that. And in their reckless stupidity, they're willing to risk everything to mash it out by pouring their half-baked ideology all over it and seeing what happens. The left is like the Joker in Batman. They just like to watch the world burn. And they have some far-flung notion that out of its ashes will arise the utopia which they fruitlessly seek, but seemingly never find. Folks, we got to get this woke crap out of the military and actually out of our complete society. I don't know what that's going to take. Maybe some kind of a new great awakening, whatever it is. We can't let it fester too long or it will absolutely destroy us. I'm so sick of hearing about this stuff, dude. Honest to God. If you're in the military, I want you to be a killing machine.
That's kind of the point.
I want you to be a killing machine. I've said it for the last 2 years on this show. People laugh at it, but it's true. What they want to do, they want to weaken our society, make our men weak, turn us into a bunch of soy boy beta males, and then they can come in here, they can rape your women, they can take over, they can reproduce. There was a literal video, TikTok video, where a guy was espousing exactly that.
Yeah.
He said, we got to kill white people. And the Twitter's been suspended. But he's like, we got to kill white people. We got to have sex with their women. And that way, when they bear our children, they can't be racist anymore. That's domestically what they're saying. Imagine what they're going to say if a foreign entity was to invade.
Yeah.
They can't hate their half-black baby, was his point.
Right.
So we've got to rape the women, rape the white women. So they got to have... This was a literal video on Twitter.
Right. The ideology is so far out of whack.
Yeah.
There's just there's no logic to it. And that's why I like having conversations in person with people, even over a computer screen.
Yeah.
It's because there is statistics that can lean in any direction. But when you actually have a logical discussion with somebody and look somebody in the eye and actually say, read something like that and say, what do you think about that? There's no rational human being that eye to eye, face to face can actually disagree that that's gone too far.
Too far. Glenn Beck made an excellent point just yesterday morning on his show. He said, sit down with your family member, and say, or your friend, whoever, somebody you've known a long time, that disagrees with you because they just hate Trump, right? And say, look, I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to have an argument. I don't want to create a fight. But let me just ask you, look at this book right here, this book on transgenderism for children.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did this become okay to you?
Yeah.
And they're going to say, well, it's not okay. Well, why are you defending it? Why are you going online and continually defending this? Or look at this video where here's a stripper, whether it's a drag queen who's doing it or an actual stripper, as we saw over the weekend, where there is the clip of a female stripper out on the catwalk in front of children who are giving her cash. At what point in time did this become okay with you?
Yeah.
And by and large, you're going to hear people say, well, it's not okay. But that's in an honest conversation. If you can get it from devolving back over to, well, Trump sucks.
Yeah.
Because, again, that's the only thing they can say.
That's all they go back to every time.
Imagine what level of brainwashing it takes. And they think we're the brainwashed ones. Imagine what level of brainwashing it takes for you to be able to say, here's a guy who was a real estate guy in New York City. He was a playboy. He became a billionaire, declared bankruptcy however many times in doing business. I don't know, don't care. And then he was a reality show star. Right. And Hollywood loved him. Rappers loved him. They talked about him all the time.
They still do again now, it seems like.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
They're starting to realize, whoops.
I mean, this is a guy who was a guest on The View.
Yep.
I mean, he was on all the talk shows. He was on Saturday Night Live. He did all of this stuff. But then he became president. And, oh, my God, he's the worst. Well, he was one of you, which tells me that if you're projecting, and we know the ways of the left, they project what's going on that they're doing onto the people that are their, quote, enemies. You alluded to Saul Alinsky.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you do. You project. You put it on the people that you disagree with. So you're projecting all this stuff onto Trump, which tells me you guys are the guilty ones.
Right. And yeah, I mean, talking about the 18-year-old that got run over, Kaler, by the 41-year-old. When I posted the stories about that, the left's response to me was completely avoiding the facts and going straight to Trump.
They do.
Said, yeah, but what about Charlottesville?
What about Heather Heyer?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I think that was one of the comments on there, Heather Heyer.
Heather Heyer. What about Charlottesville?
Oh, the Charlottesville. That's what it was. That's why. Yeah. So they're talking about Charlottesville, and they bring that up, and it's like, what? There's sick people on both sides. This is somebody specifically that thought that somebody was a Republican extremist, and they went after them. Yeah. It's very, very different. And then to even see that our justice system is giving this guy a pass for as long as possible until he's going to have to come back. If it was anybody else, I mean, he's not a flight risk, but is he? I mean, $50,000 is you
50 grand. They didn't do that with Kyle Rittenhouse.
What would I? Now he's getting told by people like us and everybody around him, like, bro, you're going to go to jail for life. What would you do?
Yeah,
I get the hell out of this country.
Yeah. He talks about, well, I got a family and a business I don't really want to give up. I don't want that to go by the wayside.
It's gone, bro.
Yeah, it's done, bro. It's out.
You ran.
You need to pull an Ed Snowden. You're out
and get citizenship by Russia.
Get citizenship by Vladimir Putin.
Yeah,
which they just did for Ed Snowden. We'll talk about that after the break. But it's just absolutely insane. And what about Officer Sicknick from Washington, D.C., January 6th? He died of a stroke.
Yeah.
He died of a stroke.
Yeah, they're talking about him getting, that was the hit with the, there's not a single police officer that died that day based on anything involving.
Yeah, nobody chased a police officer down.
He committed suicide 3 weeks later. Okay, look at after BLM what happened.
Exactly.
It's unreal.
Exactly.
Lack of logic.
All right. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, my friends just got a new goodie bag in from them. Let me tell you how you can lose 5, 10, even to 20 pounds, folks, safely, naturally, without jittery side effects. Nusu Labs weight control formula. It's a super antioxidant formula that helped thousands lose weight for good. In fact, we got a message from Kat in Colombia who said she lost over 30 pounds with Nusu, kept it off, said it helped curb her appetite, improved her workout routine. Fantastic product, highly recommend. Get the look you want for, just for life with Nusu's breakthrough weight control formula. Order it right now. Try this brand new formula absolutely risk-free. Look in the mirror. You're going to feel great. You're going to look great. You're going to be confident about how you look without the jitters and the side effects. And if it doesn't work for you, you don't pay. Go to nusulabs.com/Chad. That's nusulabs.com/Chad. Use promo code CHAD20. They'll get you an extra 20% off. During this current sales event, you get a free month supply when you order. Limited supply, so order right now. Go to Nusu. That's nusulabs.com/Chad. nusulabs.com/Chad. Promo code CHAD20. We'll be right back. What do we want to talk about? But did you see Liz Cheney, though, who said that she's going to make sure that Kari Lake doesn't get elected in Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
And said even if that means supporting and campaigning for a Democrat, she's like, yes.
Yeah. She said she'll campaign for Democrats, which we talked about this. If she ran for president, I mean, I think that was a dumb thing for her to say because she talked about potentially running for president. We all know that she knows that she's not going to get even close to winning, but she can do damage to the MAGA Republicans in the beginning of the presidential cycle because she's got the ability to get it out early and drug up as much dirt as possible. She's dangerous.
Yeah. Do you have that clip with her in Texas? Let's play that real quick.
Sir. So I'm going to ask you, will you remain a Republican, regardless of what happens in the next election?
I'm going to make sure Donald Trump, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure he's not the nominee. And if he is the nominee, I won't be a Republican.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's with Texas Tribune. That's the little podium thing right there. It's Texas Tribune's a rag. And again, not because I just disagree with them politically. They're a rag. They're horrible. Anyway, I think she's going to try to run for president as a Democrat.
You think so? I'll take Tulsi.
I think there's a good. I'd take Tulsi.
Make a trade.
I'll take Tulsi. I don't think that's far fetched. I think Gavin Newsom is their guy,
which is sad.
It is sad, but I think that's their guy. But you're weird, man. If I say something on Twitter about Gavin Newsom, a lot of Californians really come to his defense, which is weird to me.
Well, there's a lot of Californians on Twitter. It's not. I don't think that speaks for the country. It's in all reality.
I agree with that.
We all know that the Democrats are not going to run based on their person. They're going to run against Trump. The fact that they're even trying to make sure Trump can't run, I think, is that's the first time I think the Democrats have had a dumb thing in their playbook in a little while. Because in all reality, Trump is their only way to win the presidency.
Yeah. And that they're help yourself to that if you want it. Can you reach it?
I got it.
I think that's true. It doesn't matter. They just want anybody but Trump. And I think if Trump runs again, I think it really runs the risk of exposing the election fraud that is out there. Mm-hmm. And there is election fraud, and there always has been. I think there has been as long as the TVs have been involved in the campaign process.
Right.
I think there's been, people have heard my theory on that. But on both sides there's election fraud.
Yeah.
On both sides. I don't trust Republicans anymore. Establishment Republican, I don't trust any more than establishment Democrat. I don't. But I think that if Trump runs again, they run the risk of really exposing the level of corruption that's going on in that.
Yeah.
They're just not going to be able to get around it. Because I think that, but look, the Democrats are running some people that just don't make sense to me. Like, look at John Fetterman in Pennsylvania. That guy can't even talk.
He also wears gym shorts to his campaign. I mean, again, you have a stroke that's rough, and more power to him. There's no way that's putting another Biden up there as a potential runner. And I'm not a huge Oz fan. But
no, nor am I.
But looking at what that is terrifying to think that that's who they just want to vote against every ideal. Doesn't matter who the person is.
And whatever you want to say about Oz, he's a very articulate guy.
True.
I mean, he was a TV host for crying out loud, a very successful one.
Yeah.
He's an articulate person compared to John Fetterman that speaks another language.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Klingon.
Yeah, I knew somebody who used to work for Oz back in the day, 10 years ago, and similar to like Aldine, everything that they said about him, very nice guy, treated his staff incredibly well. So, I mean, as a human being, it seemed like he was decent. So at least there's that. Fetterman's just questionable on a lot of different levels.
I mean, he skipped paying his taxes like 67 times.
And a hoodie and gym shorts every time he show up is just awkward to me.
And a nutsack on the back of his neck. I mean, it's like he's giving birth to an alien twin back there. What is on the back of his neck, dude?
It's scary.
Which I can sit here and make fun of people's physical traits all day long. That's fun for me.
I mean, that's like the one spot I get careful. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have a problem with it at all.
Yeah. You got a bigger follower base.
As much crap as I catch, I'm like, God, you know.
You brought back the word Riri last week. I think I used that with Kelly, and she's like, who do you think you are, Chad?
Yeah, exactly. I'm making Riri a thing. I did Jake Coco. He commented on something. Because I posted the deal out there. I said, these folks that keep saying, like the girl eating the noodles. Yeah. I don't see if you see that on TikTok where she's eating the noodles, who says, let's just cancel these, MAGA Republicans. If they want to eat in our restaurants, they want to come to our businesses. We're just going to kick them out. We're not going to have any. She's eating her ramen noodles. I'm like, none of these people are ever doing this from work. They're never making these videos from work. And she's eating ramen noodles. I mean, which like liberal Riri's do make my noodle limp too. But funny thing about that is I said, here's the deal. You want to do that? Then put a sign out that says, we do not serve MAGA. We do not serve MAGA. You don't do business here. Don't come to our service. And again, we'll sue you just like the cake company, right?
Yeah.
It refused to make one for the gay wedding. You'll wind up with some lawsuits. But let's just all agree, no lawsuits. Let's just let it play out in business.
Yeah.
And of course, all the Riri's out there on Twitter, and Jake Coco said, dude, there's a nice use of Riri. And I'm like, dude, I'm bringing it back. I like the phrase Riri.
Yeah, I like it.
So let's just see how your business goes. And a lot of them, of course, were saying, that's not going to go how you think it's going to go. We're 90% of the money in America.
Not quite.
You're defending your elite communities and your inner city urban stuff right there. You're literally defending the elites that have a compiled pile of money in your little urban centers.
Yeah.
I don't think you know where your food comes from.
Yeah.
But y'all are okay eating mealworms, but you don't know where your food comes from. You don't know the truckers that bring it to you. And I promise you, you're going to have a problem.
But I would like to see the conservatives actually step up and not patronize those businesses.
Don't do it. Don't
Let's
buy
see
off
if
of
they got
Amazon.
balls.
Like Mammoth Nation. Go to Mammoth Nation. $25 a year, I think, is a subscription. I'm on there. Oh, use promo code CHAD when you shop there. But mammothnation.com is an alternative to things like Amazon.
Really?
You could go out there and you can shop. And again, it's Patriot-owned businesses. We brought on Minutemen Coffee. Again, use promo code CHAD. Go get your coffee. Change the way you buy things.
Yeah.
Parallel economy.
It's hard to do that though with the economy going the direction it is, which is
Well,
a
it
problem.
is difficult.
And I think that's another thing we can't use our dollar to speak anymore if we're beholden to the budget that we are now facing with.
That's tough. And they're taking, like, people say, well, I don't have $25. Oh, yes, you do. You buy Amazon Prime.
Yeah, that's
you do your Prime membership. Now, put your money where your mouth is. And again, if just the people who do have the money to do stuff like that, right? Who do have the money, because there's enough of us out there who do have the money to do stuff. You'll make up for the people who don't have the money to do stuff. And again, you got to fight the battle for the people who can't fight it themselves. Yeah. And so again, we got to stick together on that whole deal. Yeah. So I'm telling people, just change your habits, change the way you buy. It's difficult. It is.
Same with the vaccine mandates. It was like some people could not afford to lose their jobs, but if you could, stand up to it.
Right. See, I didn't push people hard on that kind of deal. I did, but I just told them, I said, you got to do what's right for you. But anyway, in the long run, it's very tough. All right, hang tight. We'll be right back. Blunt Force Discussion. That is the name of the show that is hosted by the one and only Anthony Russo. Thanks for coming on the show, hanging out for a couple days and a couple episodes, I should say. And always welcome here. And we'll do this again very soon. But follow him on all the socials. And it's good stuff, good content. So fun stuff. Don't eat that hot packy chip, though. Whew.
I'll do it again for charity. I said that.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. There you go. I'll put butthole in my wiener for charity.
Okay, not so much.
Not so much. It's a different kind of spicy. Watch Chad.com for all the fun stuff is. I'll be in Godley, Texas. Don't forget, folks, I'm going to be in Everett, Washington, the 28th of October, and Greensboro, North Carolina, the first weekend of November. So get your tickets. Come check us out. I love y'all. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay out of trouble. Bye.